Man, it is still light outside and it's still cold as hell. It's cold out. I can't believe that November is finally here, apparently. All right, so we've been pissed off today and we've ranted. You know, trying to figure out where the Cowboys went wrong. The Cowboys went wrong in all different places, okay? Everybody wants to point the finger here. You can point the fingers at a lot of different places and things. A lot of different places. And Cowboy fans, we, of course, will turn at the drop of a hat. We have a great game. We're going to the Super Bowl. If we lose a game, blow it all up. That's just the way it is when you are a Dallas Cowboy fan, and I get that. The question I have is this, is sometimes you can be too damn smart, you know? You can come up with these great plays that look great on paper and they work well in practice, but sometimes you just need to go ahead and do the normal shit. Yesterday we had Tony Pollard have the most carries he's had ever in professional football and college football, and he was feasting. He was over 100 yards. Now here's what's interesting, because Tony Pollard said, after 30 plays the game before that he was spent. And you can see he was probably tired yesterday too, because again, he's not used to having that load. And of course you think, well, we don't have Zeke Elliott. Why, we're in trouble. But we put Rico Dowdle in there. Do you know that Rico Dowdle, now he only had about 5 carries, but Rico Dowdle, especially there in the second half where, teams were tired, and you can definitely see that teams were tired, actually had the best yards per carry, I believe. I might be wrong on this. He's definitely leading in one category of any of the backs on the field for the Cowboys or Green Bay. See, this game, and going back to the numbers, I believe we passed the ball 47 times. 47 times. 47 times. This is Jason Garrettism at its best. Understand that wide receiver is not our strength of this team right now. The offensive line, they did a pretty good job yesterday. They opened up holes and things. And you're going against the Packers team that was 27th against the run. That should tell you you need to pass the football. You just do. You pass the football. Excuse me. You run the football. Jeez, I'm having a brain fart. You run the football when they're not good at stopping the run. And you were proving it all day. And see, this goes back to, and I've talked about it many, many times before, about Matt Flynn's Green Bay Packers. I was talking to Brother Roz about it too, because I was like, that game was just like Matt Flynn. Here it is, the fourth quarter. You're up by 14. That's time to pound the rock, pound the rock, pound the rock. Run out the clock. We didn't really do that. And that's what we did in the second half up against the Green Bay Packers, 26-3. 26-3. We passed the ball more in the second half than the Packers, who were down by 23 points trying to catch up. We lost that game, we lost this. It's one of those times where you outthink yourself. You think you're too smart for your britches. But be that as it may, here's an interesting take for you. Last year, Odell, coming off the Cleveland Browns, signed a deal for $750,000. Apparently, Odell is quoting some of the other wide receiver contracts that are about $20 million a year. And he's got teams that are vying for him, including if everybody's number one favorite is the Dallas Cowboys. If Odell is looking for a $20 million deal, first of all, I'm not sure that anybody's ready to give him a $20 million deal coming off an ACL injury. I don't think that that's the case, not unless this is one of those ones where there's no guaranteed money, there's voidable years like crazy, and it's a game-by-game incentive. I don't know if that's possible to do one like that. But $20 million for a guy who's torn his ACL a second time, and we're talking about it being the middle of November, seems far-fetched. And if the Cowboys, who are trying to convince us that we're in the sweepstakes for him, if he's looking for that kind of money, I don't know how we could be in the sweepstakes for Odell if he's looking for $20 million. The Cowboys, can I say, are cheap. We got AKA Catboy, who does not want to pay anybody. You're going to tell me that Catboy, who wanted to give D-Law $20 million, $10 million, owing him $27.9 million as a cap number, said, how about we give you 10? That he's going to turn around and want to pay Odell $20 million? They're bullshitting you now. If they've heard that number and they're still trying to convince us that they're in on it, they're lying to us. I don't see that happening. $20 million type contract. Yeah. That's not good. So, we probably are all we got. We are probably all we got. Did you notice something yesterday in the last couple of games? I need to go back and look at the film. I'm going to be watching the Eagles and the Commanders game tonight. And last year, probably take a nap before him. But it seems like to me, when the Cowboys have been getting their best runs and best plays, have been out of 12 personnel. Now, they used to rank in different sites and stuff the formations and the success rate. I can't seem to find those anymore. Even Brother Ross can't find them. But it seemed like when we would get our 10, 15-yard chunk run plays and things, and just like last week you got the 60-yard touchdown play, was in 12 and 13 personnel. It seems like we keep our quarterback better protected in 12 and 13 personnel. Seems like most of our offense has been going well in 12 and 13 personnel. So when we start looking and doing things like 4 and 5 wideouts, and we look and we see CeeDee Lamb as our number one, who's playing better? Michael Gallup, who has 120 yards on his last 22 targets over the last 4 games. Noah Brown, who has been kind of there. Jalen Tolbert, that I don't know. I don't even know what's going on or what happened with Jalen Tolbert. It seemed like Jalen Tolbert and Dak were doing great things at training camp, and there was all this hype, and now we can't even line up on sides. It would seem like with the weakness of the receiving core that you would rely more on that 12 personnel. And I was always taught, when you do something good, you keep doing it until they find a way to stop it. And thus far, I haven't seen them stop it. So, there you go. $20 million is what Odell is looking for, number-wise, multiple years. I don't see it happening if that's the case. Oh well. I'm going to get set up for my live stream tonight. Hope you guys tune in. Maybe we'll see a Commanders upset, because with that loss, with us having 3 losses, it's going to be damn near impossible to catch up with the Eagles if they win tonight. It just is. Ain't mad at the Eagles. Y'all didn't realize you need weapons for your quarterback to throw to. Dark early.